Well, with Sean. We got echo going on. That would happen because it's Monday. All right, hey. All right, everyone, I'm going to call the docket. When I call the docket, you need to stand and let me know you are here, and caps need to be removed. Eduardo Reyes is in custody. Jose Tamayo, custody. Jose Sanchez. Thank you. Patrick Goldberg. Thank you. Rosa Montoya. Rosa Montoya. Michelle Davis. Israel Medine. Israel Medine. Victoria Velez. Jose Cardoza. Is this the right docket or is everybody in the line outside? Regina Weaver. In custody is Jose Amador. Giovanni Escobedo. Alex Pardo. Thank you. Herbert Morales. Michael Rodriguez. Marvin Ortiz. Johnny Munoz. Abel Favala, custody. David Mendoza. David Mendoza. Mario Rendes. Custody. Lindsay Hernandez. Michael Hernandez, custody. Kashana Hullaby. Jasmine Gagos, custody. Gabrielle Rubencheck, custody. Roberto Mendoza Perez. Diamond Danzy. Jose Jimenez. Thank you. Genevieve Lopez. Okay. Robert Castillo. Roy Vidalis, custody. Is there anyone here whose name was not called or you came in late? All right, everyone, please confirm.
On that side, there's Roman.
Oh, where the people ran up into the car, they got it back. I don't have anybody here. They all want. I can work. We've done it before. No, it's just one class. I've got it. That was, yeah, that would, I guess. Maybe as that. I'm sure there's, he's remanded without bond.
Sometimes.
Yeah. I'm sure it could. Judge, what's your rule on that? Somebody had, if I did the underlying plea, can I be on the MPR too? I think I can.
Oh, it depends on if they put somebody on it already.
Yeah. We actually need to file some machines. I know right now. One is the evading process. Here. Yeah, that's crazy.
All right, what's your name? I'm sorry, what? All right, just have a seat on the first row. All right, thank you.
It's downstairs. What is? People slightly better. So.
Yeah.
I thought about it. It is. The
Like sentence one.
That's very.
Mr. Charis?
Yes,
Yes.
it's up there. Are you looking at it now? My client's here. We're just back. We're asking for early termination. I talked to probation.
Okay, just a second. He needs an interpreter.
Oh,
They need an interpreter on that case?
I'll be back.
All right, thank you. Counsel, the interpreter, once they're called, they'll be here in less than 5 minutes. Okay, all right, thank you.
Yeah, just right on the same day.
Roberto Mendoza Perez. Just one moment. All right. You are on deferred adjudication. Do you realize that? All right, you're mumbling. I can't hear you. All right, so what's your range of punishment? If a motion to revoke were filed, and if you were sentenced to prison, how much time could you be sentenced to? No. Higher. How much time could you be sentenced to?
I don't know.
Life. Let that sink in. The whole thing about you could be sentenced up to a $10,000 fine. When you balance that against the life sentence, the $10,000, you're like, maybe you're not worried about that, but you could go to prison for life. Do you understand?
Yes.
And what I'm being told is that you are not doing what you're supposed to be doing, that you have made zero progress on your probation, and you've been on probation since May of 2023. So you've been on probation for a year and you have done nothing. Do you want to go to prison? Because if you want to go to prison, what you can do is you can get an attorney here and you can talk. I believe this is maybe a criminal trial division case. Your attorney can negotiate with them for a revocation, and they can present it to the court for the amount of time you want to do in prison. I can follow it or not follow it, because this is a contract with the court, not with whoever, whichever attorney you hire or the state? How old are you?
18,
I'm sorry, what?
18.
All right, so you're 18, you do the math about how much time they would probably have you do at the prison. You know, there are usually rules saying, hey, when you consider sentencing somebody, if you go to jury trial, you can consider that there's a parole law out there, but you can't determine or try to think, oh, I wonder what parole will do, because nobody knows what parole will do. Maybe you'll be paroled, maybe not. But what I can tell you is whatever time you're sentenced to, you have to do half the time. So you're 18. Let's say you get sentenced to 30 years. You have to do 15 years flat. So you do the math, 18 plus 15. And then I can guarantee you, even though I'm not supposed to do that, I can guarantee you that the parole, when your parole comes up, they're not going to let you out on the first try. So you need to decide, do you want to go to prison? Because what you're telling me by your actions is you do. And if you want to go to prison, guess what? I will tell you, the government, they always say they don't have money for certain things. They always have money to build another prison. They always have space for you at the prison, whether they have space or not. They're fine. If a cell says there's only supposed to be 3 people in this cell, they're fine with putting an extra person in there. So if you want to go to prison, I will send you to prison. I won't gladly send you to prison, but I'll send you to prison. I remember an 18-year-old went to prison, and I'll move on to my next case. So, would you like to go to prison?
No,
Then why are you behaving as though you want to go to prison?
I haven't got time.
Hmm?
My job doesn't let, give me time to follow in my room.
Okay, you're mumbling and I cannot hear you.
My job doesn't let me follow.
All right, it's funny you should say that, because in the report I have, it says probationer has also made no attempt to work on his community service hours, no attempt to really do his drug testing, no attempt to sign up for the classes he's supposed to sign up for. So then you have a question. You're 18, and I'm sure you're not living by yourself. Who do you live with?
No, my fiance and my son.
All right, so you have a question. Your question is, do you want to go to prison? If you end up going to prison, you won't have a job. I mean, they may make you make things at the prison if you want to, but you won't have a real job. And I know people come to me, and you know what people come to me and say, why are you being so hard on him? They're trying to get it together. They're working. Here's the problem. You're on probation. Other people who did not break the law don't have to worry about reporting to probation and how it impacts their employment. You're on probation. If you just decide to do what you want to do, then guess what? You're not on probation. And I tell you what, I see here that you were approved for traveling. Look, he has requested to travel to Florida for a family trip, June 26th through July 1st to Kissimmee, Florida. You didn't have any problem with your employment then. You sure made time to go traveling to Florida, but you can't make time to do your community service. You can't make time to do any of your classes, but you can make time to go to Florida with family. I always say if it's important, you treat it like it's important. Maybe this probation is not important to you. If it's not, then you can go to prison. So I'm telling you right now, yes, you are required to have employment while you're on probation. You have a child, you decided to have a child. Nobody forced you to engage in activities that resulted in a child. You have to take care of your child financially. According to your conditions of probation, you have to support all your dependents. I don't know why you're an 18-year-old. I don't know how old the girl is that you're dating or you have a baby with. I don't know why her parents are letting you all live at the house. Maybe they're just doing it because they're concerned about their grandchild. But you're on probation. One of the conditions of probation that's mandated by the law is you have to take care of your dependents. So you got to have a job to take care of your dependents. I require you to have a job. But if that job is interfering with your ability to do your conditions of probation, then you need to get another job. Or either you need to work the graveyard shift. Nobody likes working the graveyard shift, but you have to do what you have to do. And I would tell my clients all the time, you have a choice. When I was a defense attorney, they'd be like, I have a job. You know what I would tell them? You have a choice. If you get sent to prison, guess what? You're not going to be working that job, and that employer is not going to hold it off to you. So you have choices you have to make. You're in an adult world. You've done adult things by having a child, adult things by committing this offense, and you're on adult probation. So I'm telling you right now, you're going to start that class. You're going to start doing your community service hours, and you're going to regularly do your UAs. We're not having another conversation about your issues with employment, because guess what? These are the times that these classes are open. It's in the daytime. It's not in the nighttime. So you probably need to get a job that is graveyard shift or either the middle shift, 3 to 11. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything you do not understand?
No, ma'am.
And what do you do for employment?
I work at a barber shop.
Oh, yeah. You need to do the overnight shift, or either, guess what? You can work on Saturdays and Sundays at the barber.
Yes, ma'am.
Probation, is there anything else? All right, next time I see you, if I get a report like this, the next time I see you, it's gonna be, you're gonna have a warrant issued for your arrest. You're gonna come over dressed in orange or whatever classification color they put you in. Either you're gonna make bond or not, and we're gonna have a hearing on the allegations that are in the motion. I had better start seeing progress, and there'll be no more out-of-state family trips for you until I see progress. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything else you need?
No, ma'am.
Is there anything that you do not understand?
No, ma'am.
All right. Thank you, probation. You're welcome. All right. Oh, you can have a seat. And then, Mr. Charis, are you ready on your client?
Yes, sir.
All right, what's your client's name?
Jose Jimenez.
All right, can I see the file on Jose Jimenez? All right. All right, are the parties ready on Jose Arturo Jimenez? All right, the court is going to call 2023 CR 3541, State of Texas versus Jose Arturo Jimenez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Allie Jackson.
For the defense?
Albert Chidas for Mr. Jimenez.
And are you Mr. Jimenez?
Yes.
All right, we have an interpreter. Could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear affirm, not you, sir? Yeah. Do you solemnly swear and affirm you will faithfully translate from English into Spanish and Spanish into English, so help you God?
I do.
All right, and if you'll state your name for the record, please?
Your Honor, the interpreter's name is Jorge Valle.
All right, so the defense has filed a motion for early termination of deferred adjudication probation. State, have you had a chance to review?
Yes, Your Honor, and from what I understand, was originally filed back in April, and he approached the court months ago and was told basically to come back at a later date, because at that time he had not yet hit half the time of supervision.
All right, and state, are you going to have any objections?
No strong objection, Your Honor.
All right, State, have you had any contact with the complainant concerning this?
No, Your Honor, we have not had any contact since December.
All right, and did you have any contact with her before the case was filed?
Yes, Your Honor.
And I'm assuming because this was reduced that she was in favor or was not cooperative?
All she cared about was being left alone, Your Honor.
All right. And counsel, you want to present your argument?
Yes, Judge. My client has no prior criminal history. This incident that led to this case was, to say the least, complicated. Originally, there was an allegation that she had made to the police that he had broken into her home and attacked her. It was actually their adult son's home with his wife, which he was allowed to be at, and she was allowed to be at, even though they were divorced. She lives in Mexico, and she just happened to come to San Antonio to visit her son and her grandkids when he came over. And she told the police, well, he broke into my house, this and that. The son's wife made out an affidavit saying he's allowed to be here. He didn't break into anything. We give him the garage code key code to get in and out of the house. He mows the lawn, he does stuff around here. So it was reduced from, I think it was a burglary of a habitation with intent to commit assault down to deferred. And so my client, after considering his options, he decided to go ahead and take the deferred adjudication probation. While we were waiting on the case, he wanted to visit for the holidays. He wanted to go to Mexico, see his family. And our request to travel was opposed by her because they happen to live in the same state in Mexico. And she was like, I don't feel safe, all this stuff. They haven't seen each other since the day of the incident. This is a year on. And when he made his trip to Mexico to see his own family, not hers, and not
Excuse
her.
me. There's a sign down there.
Correct. Do not approach the coordinator when the court is on the record. All right, I did not see the sign.
All right, thank you. All right, you may continue.
Yes, Judge. And so she again had issues with him traveling to another country, to the country she happened to be living in. He traveled, he visited his family, Christmas, came back, no incidents. And again, they haven't seen each other. There's no reason for him to continue to be on probation for another year because he's not a young kid. He had no prior criminal history. He's 63 years old, Judge, with, again, no prior criminal history. So we would just ask the court to consider granting our motion for early termination.
All right, and probation on Mr. Jimenez, has he completed everything?
Judge, all of his terms have been met.
All right, thank you. And State, could you reach out to see if you can get in touch with the complainant counsel? I'm going to grant the motion for early termination, but before I sign it, I want the state to reach out to the complainant to let the complainant know that his probation is being terminated. He's completed everything. I don't see a reason to continue his probation, just to continue it when he's done everything. And as you said, counsel, he has no criminal history other than this offense. All right, so Mr. Jimenez, of course, if there are any orders or conditions that are still outstanding, such as no contact, you're still to have no contact with the complainant. And whether that is in place or not, I would advise you to have no contact with the complainant in this case. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, is there anything else from either side?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. If you have him remain in court, the state is going to see if they can reach the complainant.
Yes, Judge.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Have a good one.
Yes.
No.
I'm sorry, what? What?
Look at Zach's hair on the monitor.
What do you think, Judge?
That's not great.
I like it. At first I was like, what? What? Victoria Velez. Jose Cardoza. Regina Weaver. David Mendoza. Diamond Danzy.
But yeah, so, yeah, it's, I like, not, I need, I'm probably saying. But yeah, yeah. It's the one I forgot. I know, they were worth it, but I took them off shortly after. After I left here, I took them off. The ADD. I saw you on children's court on Friday.
Did you?
Because my lovely legal thought that we have not our setting, but a setting related to our client, the mom, and yes, whether that is not, so I don't proud of it. So. But she told me to watch and see, I think it was. So. We were, but it was really fair, I asked them and stuff. Oh, that, because it was that money. But so now this is paid. In different colors, yeah. I kind of like your colors better though.
So Bahia, how was your trip? How was the drive? Oh my gosh. See, the problem is, I always say whenever you're doing sort of a road trip, you can't say, oh, we're gonna drive 9 hours or we're gonna drive 8 hours. You just go with the flow. But it's hard to do that. So were you?
You get a latitude, because there's sometimes you just want to stop in certain areas to see what they have.
Oh, okay,
Where'd you go?
We moved to.
okay. And how was the weather?
The weather was.
Well, when we say nice, what, is it 70 degrees with a nice breeze? Oh, well, that's good. It was hot and humid here.
Now.
Well, actually, last night when I was sleeping, all of a sudden I hear this noise and it was rain. I was shocked. Mhm. And I don't know what was happening, but they were having some sort of festival or something was going on downtown.
Well, I. Maybe I did not. Without her. Maybe I did, we never got.
Oh, Bear County Sheriffs, you guys are having a July fair, career fair.
But I also don't. Not that.
Yes.
Fire.
No, that's. Oh, that's. That's right. It's a little later.
You see, decided. I heard. Right.
No. What's up?
Here. But I mean, right.
I. Well, I do love. You love Lisa. Not that I know that joke.
Not at all.
Never watched it.
Never watched it. Yeah.
We don't know who it is. Don't have to see special events.
Thank you.
So I already have supported them, they're coming down.
There you go. I don't have a specific
No
number.
worries. Did they know, did they say what, is it gonna watch soon? Like there's been like 5 or 10 minutes ago when they were saying that it looked like a full, it's the full for. Right. Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Getting ready to go down. So,
Anybody who said that, would be,
that's kind of what I see.
yeah, for everyone.
Victoria Velez, Jose Cardoza, Regina Weaver, David Mendoza. Diamond Danzy. Could I see the following Diamond Danzy, please? All right, this case is set for July 23rd. For a contested. Norma, Diamond Danzy is supposed to be on the 23rd. And it's for a contested. Family violence,
Yes, Judge.
Diamond Danzy is actually scheduled for July 23rd. Yeah,
Yes, Judge. She got the MTR for tomorrow.
yes,
Is that right?
yeah, it's contested, July 23rd.
Yeah, it's on the 23rd docket, Judge. I don't know why it's made up.
Okay,
Cool. Yeah.
all right, let me see Jose Cardoza. This is set correctly. And could I see Victoria Velez? And Regina.
From the hospital, Judge.
All right, let me see Regina Weaver. Yes.
We're just waiting for the, confirmation.
All right, that's set correctly. And this is set correctly. And can I see David Mendoza?
Absolutely. You'll preempt her. No.
Thank you. All right, and this is set correctly. Thank you.
Well, this one, got it.
Two. Way around. Probation, something that was already right. This one's sort of. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just didn't make an announcement, but they're waiting for me if I can. They're already fixing me from the English. I usually do that there.
And it shows them.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Hi.
That one, yeah, he's doing it, that's all I know. Okay, so I'll just. Okay.
Well. After like. Just like, better than most.
I saw.
Yeah, well, that was.
Something I don't know.
Yes.
That's right, some cash.
Oh, you're welcome.
Rosa, my pleasure.
Alfonso, this is the interpreter.
Good morning,
Hi,
Judge.
good morning. Hello. All right, so on this case, the first thing that was an issue was the immigration issue. So has that been completed, the research on the immigration issues?
I've done my research, Judge, and I had explained to the defendant what would be the consequences on a plea in this case or a conviction.
Okay. And then the next thing is there were some out-of-county cases.
He's got some out-of-county cases, Judge. Those are pending. There is one in Comal County that is set for motion suppressed next month. And there's another one out of Guadalupe County that's set for trial in August.
All right. So the last time we were here on June 4th, there was an offer that was tendered. So today was the plea deadline date. So where are we?
He's rejecting that offer because of what we spoke about.
Okay. All right. And do you have all of the discovery in each of these cases?
I think so, Judge.
All right. So state if you'll do an acknowledgement of discovery. And I know I overheard you have a jury trial.
Yes, Judge, they texted me already.
So whenever you get a break, if you can come back up and sign the discovery acknowledgement. And how long do you expect this jury trial to last?
2 days, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a jury trial date for criminal trial division. It's 2 days. All right, so you'll be back for jury trial on August 12th. That will be in impact court. Once you sign the reset form, you'll be excused. All right, is there anything else?
Nothing else, Judge.
Is there anything else from you, Mr. Escobedo?
No.
All right, thank you for dressing appropriately for court. All right, thank you.
Thank you,
Once he
Judge.
signs the reset form, he's excused.
Okay, and I'll be back whenever I have a break, Judge. Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Your Honor, may I be excused?
Yes.
Thank you.
He has one.
Okay.
And Norma, on that last case, you said August 24th? August 12th, okay. Can I see that file back? Let me make sure I put August 12th on there. I'm pretty sure I did, but. Yes. Yes, I did. Thank you. Jovan Amor? Yes.
Judge, I've been putting it off and putting it off, and I have to get a root canal tomorrow. And I was wondering if I could just come the following day or anytime this week. I just am not going to be able to do it tomorrow.
Well, actually, this has you down as for today.
It
I don't know
does?
why I don't know why it's not on the docket for today when it clearly states July 22nd.
I got
And
the
is he
note.
in custody?
I think so.
All right. So Norma, if you can check the system on this, and I'll check the system as well. It was supposed to be set for today. I don't know why it's not on the docket. Just give me 1 second
Okay.
and let me find the case.
Fortuitous, I show up.
So let me see. Obviously, it's taking its time.
That's, I know, Tom Judge. I just appreciate your consideration in this.
Oh, no problem.
You know, I've been putting it off, because I always have something, you know,
Mhm.
and I just gotta go do it. It's like,
Oh, yeah. Okay.
but I can come Wednesday. I can come any day this week.
No,
Just-
so here's the thing. I'm trying to see because I have notes that your client was declared incompetent.
Yeah, he was. That's
So-
why I was kind of wondering why it was on the docket.
I don't know why different dates are being put in the system other than the date that I am giving.
Oh, Judge, it's the new system.
Mhm.
I'm here on more PF cases and
Okay. Let me see, I'm trying to get the details up.
Attorney, what is your name? I know, y'all are figuring it out. I've been
It's slowly getting me to where I need to be on this thing.
I understand you're brave to navigate it.
Could you find out somewhere, find that?
It's just.
Well, and there's 4 hours.
All right. So your client was declared incompetent. So we're going to recall this. And I think they may have sent him to the state hospital.
I think he's waiting in jail to get into the state.
Yes. So we're going to recall this back for August 19th.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you. Sorry. Do you have much?
Oh, no problem.
Okay,
No,
thank you.
it's great because it cleared this up.
Okay, thank you. Oh, it was
I was
here.
just hanging it on there.
Is it here?
I was just hanging it on there.
Oh, hang it.
Yes. Where's your name?
Dale Calderola. Dale Calderola.
Okay. Thank you.
Is that good?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Robin, this needs to be placed on the docket for August 19th. Rosa Montoya. Hello. Let me just find you on our docket. All right, who's the prosecutor on this case?
But Mr. Lotta is the attorney of record. He's ill today, so I'm just coming to notify the court, asking if they could recall it later this week or next week.
All right, then we'll bring this back on July 25th, and you need to make sure you're on time. You were late today.
Yes.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on this case, it's being recalled for the 25th. All right, thank
All
you.
right, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Patrick Goldberg. Good morning. Let me just find him on our docket. Oh, there we are. Court is calling 2023 CR 11061. State of Texas versus Patrick Andrew Goldberg. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
Defense?
Marissa Giovanco for Mr. Goldberg.
And are you Mr. Goldberg?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery?
I have, Judge.
Did you review it with your client?
We have.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Goldberg, did you review the document entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Your Honor.
Mr. Goldberg, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with fraudulent use or possession of identifying information, 5 items, as a state jail felony? Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I believe he does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do, Judge.
Mr. Goldberg, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, the state is recommending deferred adjudication. There's to be restitution of $3,561.81 to Tanya Goldberg. That's TANIA. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense is at the plea.
Yes, Judge, there's a couple things I'd like to be heard on whenever you are ready for that.
State is at the plea.
That is Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing it, you were waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
There have not, Judge.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 2 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 80 hours of community service restitution, and no contact with Tanya Goldberg. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence.
Yes, Your Honor, state exhibit number 1 with all of its attachments.
Judge, I have gone over that with Mr. Goldberg and we have no objections.
All right, Mr. Goldberg, did you review the document entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations?
Yes, ma'am.
With your attorney, did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there'll be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you decided to apply for deferred adjudication. Is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Judge, a couple things. The no contact order with Tanya. My client and Tanya do have a 14-year-old daughter together. Primarily, my client only talks to his 14-year-old daughter. He does not communicate with Tanya. However, should there be an emergency or any parenting decisions that need to be discussed, I think it is possible. There is a possibility that they would need to discuss their child. And they also have the possibility of seeing each other at drop-offs. So we would just be asking either for the no contact except for regarding their child, which is Lily Goldberg, or a no harmful or injurious contact, Judge.
It says that she doesn't live in the state.
Correct.
So where would they be having contact at drop-offs?
He still does see his child, so
Well, I
they
mean,
still
does she
need to
come down
do-
here?
I live in Michigan, ma'am.
Oh, you live in Michigan as well?
Yes.
Okay. So you're all gonna be asking that this be transferred to Michigan?
Yes, Judge.
And what county in Michigan?
Right, or Ottawa.
Spell that, please.
OTTAWA.
All right, anything else?
Yes, Judge. Mr. Goldberg works as a licensed security guard, an armed security guard for his employment. And we understand that traditionally no firearms as a condition of probation, is done in every case. But if he were not be able to carry his firearm for work, he would not be able to support his family. So we were asking, since this is a nonviolent offense, if there would be any way to let him keep his job and continue to support his family by having a firearm for work.
All right. State.
No objection to the no harmful or injurious contact order, Your Honor. And technically, if he's on probation for or deferred, he can't be in possession of firearms.
I follow the law.
Okay, Judge, thank you.
All right. All right. So you went to a tire shop and purchased wheels and tires?
Yes, ma'am.
And when you say purchase wheels, what do you mean? What does that mean?
Just rims and tires for a car.
All right, so, and you put this on our account.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Why would you do that?
What happened is when we were married, we used this the Snap Finance a few times, and when I went to go buy rims and tires, her information was still on there, and I signed it as well, not reading all of it like I should have. And this is what happened.
It wasn't just in her name, Judge. He took out a credit account, not realizing that her name was also still on it. His name was on it as well.
All right. So where are you going to be working now? Because you're not going to be allowed to carry a weapon.
I am retired Air Force.
Okay. And with regards to the no contact order, state?
No objections to the no harmful or injurious contact with this individual, Your Honor, since they do have a child.
All right. So, do you know if she wants to have contact?
I don't believe that they, either one of them want contact with each other, Judge, except for regarding their child. Correct?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. All right, if you were drug tested today, what would the results be?
Positive because I do have a prescription for marijuana.
For what purpose?
PTSD.
Okay. All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to sentence you to, I'm sorry, state, you may continue to confer. Court is going to sentence you to 3 years deferred adjudication. There's to be restitution of $3,506.81 to Tanya Goldberg. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs. And if you do have a prescription for medical marijuana, you need to turn that over to probation so they can view it.
Yeah.
I'll allow transfer to Ottawa County, Michigan.
Yes, ma'am.
There's going to be 80 hours of community service restitution. Court is going to order parenting classes. Once that's completed, the community service hours will be deemed to be satisfied. I'm going to order the no contact with Tanya Goldberg counsel. If you obtain a letter or if she appears by Zoom, the court will reconsider that. But I don't lift no contact orders unless the complainant is aware of it.
Yes, Judge.
Probation. I'm gonna ask for field visit. I know if he's in Michigan, maybe they don't do that, but field visit 1 time per month for 2 months. And then do they have a finance class or something for him to take?
Yes, Judge.
All right, and we'll do a finance class because none of this would have ever happened if you would have paid that bill back. And I don't know why you were getting rims for a vehicle.
Dumb.
Yeah, I mean, it's jewelry for a vehicle, I guess. Probation, is there anything else he needs? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, ma'am.
All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. So probation is going to go over conditions with you. Make sure you read those conditions. One of the conditions that people always overlook in the probation packet is the one that says that you're required to support your dependents. So if you don't support your dependents, technically a motion to revoke can be filed.
Okay.
If you have a question about anything, let your probation officer know. If you feel as though they're not addressing it, you can always come back to the court or have your attorney come back to court since you're in Michigan. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So tell me about the tattoos.
I'm
always interested.
I got a lot of them in the military,
Yeah.
so this one I just,
Why did you do the black? You know, a lot of people are doing the blackout tattoos now.
Yeah.
Was it to cover up something?
it was
or-
to cover up. I had another full sleeve that I had like 18
Mhm.
years ago when I was in the military and I just wanted to cover it up.
Because I read that Kat, I think her name is Kat Bundy's.
Oh, yes.
She is doing her entire body from neck down,
I heard.
100% black. The only thing she's not covering up, I think she said, is.
Oh,
her
she's
parents'
blacking out
tattoo.
everything?
Her
Yeah.
face and everything.
Whoa.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Back
So-
to the plea, Judge, I do.
Just 1 second. So what about the names?
This is Faala, so I got that from the military.
Okay.
This I recently just got because I wanted my initials. I just have a thing for art. I've always had.
Oh, no. And I always ask because I'm always interested in the pain.
Oh,
So the blackout tattoo, was that painful?
yes. Yes, I don't want a tattoo after that.
How long did it take?
16 hours, like 3 passes.
Ah,
Yeah, no
all in
fun.
one sitting?
No, definitely not.
All right. And then the earrings, I always wonder if the weight, when you put the weight.
No, these are
into-
titanium, so they weigh nothing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Does it hurt when you're doing the stretching?
yes, it does.
Are you gonna go bigger?
No, I want to go smaller if anything.
I was watching, what is her name? The doctor, they call her Dr. Pimple.
The
whatever.
pimple hump?
Yeah, but actually she says, hey, I'm not just that, right? I do more. So there were some people who had the earrings and then they wanted, it back. And so she was able to get it back, but she had to cut it some sort of way and put
Ooh.
the,
Stitch
Yes.
it up, yeah.
Yes.
Doesn't sound fun.
all right. Yes.
I do have one question, Judge. Since he is retired Air Force, you did say proof of additional employment. I just wanted to clarify that.
Well, I mean, I require that people are employed. If he's receiving SSI or something else, then he just needs to let probation know.
Okay. I just didn't know if he would need to get an additional job. I wanted to make sure that was clear for him.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the job he has, if it requires that he carry a weapon, he can't have it.
Sometimes I
Correct.
don't, so I can always work the jobs that I don't.
Okay.
Okay, I just wanted to be clear. Thank you,
Sure.
Judge.
All right, thank
Thank you,
you.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Mr. Attorney? What's your name?
Yes, Marissa.
Jasmine Gallegos.
G-I-O.
Can I get your signature, please?
Sure.
G-I-O.
Hey, how's it going?
How are you?
All right, I can't complain.
Marissa with a two S's?
Yes.
One R, two S's.
Especially after yesterday's announcement, right?
Yeah. There you are.
Thank you, Judge. Good to see you.
You too. Have a good one. All right. Court is calling 2024 CR 0105W, State of Texas versus Jasmine Lynn Gallegos. Can I have parties announced for the record, for the state,
Jason Garrett, Your Honor.
for the defense?
Angela Blake.
And are you Ms. Gallegos? Did you review the document entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Jasmine Lynn Gallegos who was placed on community supervision in 2024 CR 0105W for the offense of unlawfully carrying of a weapon with a felony conviction on January 9th, 2024 for a term of 5 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
Yes, Your Honor. Violated condition number 4 on or about the 22nd day of January 2024 in Bear County, Texas. The defendant Jasmine Lynn Gallegos, the then and there failed to report as directed to the 187th District Court for a compliance hearing as directed by the supervision officer and or the court in violation of condition number 4.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
Your Honor, we'll waive the remaining validated condition.
All right. And I don't have a trial court certification.
No, Your Honor, it's we are requesting to be continued.
Yeah,
Would you
but
like the court like it instead anyway? Okay.
thank you.
Here's your trial court service.
There it is.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, Judge.
All right. And state,
Oh, yes, there's an agreement, Your Honor.
now, are you proceeding on the next violation?
So waiving the remaining violated conditions, Your Honor.
All right. Any objections to the waiver?
No objection.
Did you understand by pleading to violation of condition number 4, the court could find it guilty? I'm sorry, could find it true, grant the motion and sentence you up to 5 years in prison and up to $1,000 fine. You're going to need to speak up.
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 4 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There's a proposed agreement, Your Honor. It is to deny the motion and continue her on her community supervision with additional TAP evaluation done while in custody and follow the recommendations of mental health eval in custody, ISP gang evaluation in custody, and also a UA hotline for 90 days, plus proof of residency and employment every 90 days.
All right, so why should I follow this agreement? It appears that she hasn't done anything. Has she done anything on probation?
No, Your Honor.
All right, and then I had a compliance hearing. I always do compliance hearings. If there's an issue, people can come in, tell me what their issue is, and we can get them back on track. So I don't understand why I should continue her.
We're just asking the court consider it, Your Honor.
But I mean, somebody needs to give me a reason why, because she is on probation. She hasn't done anything. And to get her back on track, I set it for a compliance hearing and she did not show. So I don't understand why I should continue her.
I call my client, Your Honor.
All right, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Jasmine Gagos.
Are you asking the court to consider release or continue on probation?
Yes, ma'am.
And why is that?
Because I never started it. And I got released and I didn't turn myself back in, but I want to do something better.
All right, do you need to speak up?
I want to do something better in life.
So the reason why you want me to continue you is because you were placed on probation, you were released, and you never did anything. So basically, you're just throwing yourself on the mercy of the court saying, I did nothing, but please continue me.
Do you have a job?
Yes.
Where do you work?
I mean, I was working at the Subway.
Okay, I cannot hear you.
I was working in Subway at Pleasanton, Texas.
And where do you live?
In Pleasanton, Texas with my grandma.
Do you have anybody that you care for?
Yes, my grandma. She's sick right now.
Oh, let's not do that. Let's not do this thing where we're bringing in the sick relatives, the baby that nobody else can take care of, because you were supposed to report. Let's do this. This is what can help me understand whether or not I should continue. Let's assume you don't have a sick grandmother, you don't have any sick relatives, you don't have any sick children. It's just you. Why should you be continued on probation? Don't tell me that Subway needs somebody to make sandwiches. Let's assume that Subway doesn't need anybody to make sandwiches. Why should I be continuing you?
Because I want to prove to you that I can do it.
But you have not. But okay, but you want to prove to me that you can do it?
So,
all right. Any other questions?
Is there any other reason why you're asking the court to continue on probation?
no,
Do you believe you have a drug problem?
no.
All right, so she don't have a drug problem. Why didn't you report?
Because they wanted me to turn myself back in.
I'm sorry, what?
Because they wanted me to come back and turn myself in.
All right. Why didn't you show up for your compliance hearing? I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I don't know, ma'am.
All right.
Do you have a mental health issue? Have you ever been diagnosed with any mental health issues?
No.
All right. So I really don't have any reason to continue her. Her whole thing is, I didn't do anything. Don't revoke me. And the court reached, everyone knows, if somebody is falling off track, normally what I do in some situations, Ms. Gallegos, is because maybe sometimes people just fall off track. They just need to realize what they're looking at. And I set compliance hearings. And I'm not even going to consider, I set compliance hearings twice for you. The state only went on one, so I'm not even considering the other. But a compliance hearing was set for you to try to get you back on track to see, hey, is there something we're missing here? Is there something you need in order to be successful? And you didn't even show up for the compliance hearing. The compliance hearing was a step before your motion to revoke. Because I had a choice at that time. I always get notices from probation. They'll tell me how a probationer is doing. If there are some issues, I will always usually check compliance hearing. Let's bring that person in and find out what's going on. And you didn't even show up for that. So I don't think you're a good candidate for probation. Everybody who's in custody will come before me when they're in custody and say to me, I want to prove to you I can do it. But history has shown that you can't, because you didn't. So I don't know why it should continue. So I don't know if you want to talk to her, but I don't have a reason for why she didn't show up. Okay. All right. I'm not going to follow this proposed agreement. I don't think she's a good candidate for probation. She hasn't done anything. And she's been given opportunities to do things and she just refuses. And based upon her testimony, she didn't want to come back because she didn't want to turn herself in. I don't know what to do with that.
If the court were to grant your request for continued probation and the TAP evaluation, would you comply with the conditions of the TAP?
Yes, ma'am.
And any recommendations thereof?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you also comply with any conditions of the gang ISP evaluation?
Yes, ma'am.
As well as the mental health?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, my client's throwing herself in the mercy of the court, and we're requesting that the court continue her on probation.
All right, so under under direct examination, she stated she doesn't have any mental health issues, so that's not an issue. And now I'm being thrown at that there may be gang issues with her. And part of the plea bargain agreement was, in this case, she was to forfeit weapons, magazines, and ammunition. So she was placed on community supervision for that, and she has done nothing. Court is finding violation of condition number 4 true. Court is going to sentence you to 5 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's $1,000 fine. Time and money will run concurrent. I'll recommend, if she stated she doesn't have any drug issues, she doesn't have mental health issues, but I'll recommend the therapeutic community or the mental health unit at the prison. You'll have to recommend it as well because I have no jurisdiction. And if they discover that you do have a mental health issue, then they will take care of it there. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you have a limited right to appeal, and that right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you were on community supervision. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Good luck to you. You're going to have to start making better decisions. If you continue to pick up felonies in Texas, they're going to start labeling you as a repeater or a habitual. If you're a repeater, that means your range of punishment level is going to go up by 1 level. And if you're habitual, in some cases, your minimum is going to be 25 years at the prison. You have some choices you're going to need to make. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And when you're released from prison, if you need help with anything, you can always come back here if I'm here. Okay. Good luck to you. Denzel Apia. Good morning.
Judge, this case is set on tomorrow's docket.
Yeah.
We have an agreement with the pretrial diversion. We've submitted the application to the prosecutor's office. So I was just seeing if we could move this for a couple weeks until he's accepted, so he doesn't miss more work. It's
All
set for
right, your
tomorrow.
client needs to sign a reset form. So are you going to be able to get a reset form to him to sign?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, Ms. Ferguson. On this case, it's 2024 CR 1718. Can you reset that in 30 days for a PTD? It's actually set tomorrow. And defense attorney will get a signed reset form for you.
Yeah, that
Back
works.
on August 19th.
It should be dismissed and taken care of by then. I appreciate it, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Do you have anything? Oh, Norma's gonna give.
Yes.
Thank you, Judge.
Isaac Chavez.
Judge, this isn't on the docket today.
All right, is your client here?
It's right here.
All right.
Sir, what's your name?
Doug Campbell. Judge, we're here to ask for the court to set a bond and an MTR. Mr. Chavez was here on a couple of other items in another court, and while he was here, he decided he wanted to address the court and turn himself in.
Have you spoken to the state?
I have, they want 15,000 and that's a little bit more than my client can afford.
All
We've
right,
asked
we'll
for
have to
1,000.
go on the record. Okay, thank you. All right, we're gonna go on the record. Court is calling 2024 CR 1943, State of Texas versus Isaac Chavez. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Harahan, Your Honor.
Defense,
Doug Campbell for Mr. Chavez.
and are you Isaac Chavez?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state, have you had a chance to review defense's motion to set bond?
I haven't, but he brought it to my attention and I'm aware of it.
All right. And state, are you ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, defense.
Judge, I'll call Mr. Chavez.
All right, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Isaac Chavez.
Isaac.
Defense, you have direct.
Thank you. Isaac, where do you work?
I work at a restaurant called Willie's on 1604.
And how much do you make an hour?
I work off tips, but I would say roughly $18 an hour.
And you're here today because you want to turn yourself in.
Excuse me, just a second. Guys, we're on the record. There's a sign. What does that sign say right below you?
Oh, sorry, Judge.
Yes. All right, we're back on the record.
Thank you, Judge. You're here today because you understand you have a motion to revoke in this court. Is that correct?
Correct.
And it's because of some things that that you did outside of court and you'd like an opportunity to address those out in the world.
Yes.
Do you think you can afford a $15,000 bond?
No, not at the moment.
Why not?
Just wouldn't fit the budget, like my family and everything.
And to be fair, it looks like you've got an evading arrest with a vehicle that's coming up in this court. Is that correct?
Correct.
Do you believe that you're guilty of that?
No, I do not.
You also have a DWI in County Court 14. You understand that part of your program here for the deferred adjudication is that you're not supposed to be drinking, right?
I do.
And what steps are you going to take so that you don't drink alcohol if the court were to give you a bond?
All right, just a moment. Let's go off the record for a moment.
With that, Judge, I'll rest.
We're back on the record, and so you rest?
Yes.
All right.
Sir, you had a bond on this previous case that you're on probation for, is that correct? You had a bond of $10,000 previously?
No.
You don't recall that?
No, I never had a bond.
You pled to this case, right? That's your, previously you had a bond on that case.
Wait, yes.
Okay, and did you make bond?
No, because I had two bonds. I had a remanded without a bond, and then I had.
I think we're missing a point there, but the fact is, you have family here in San Antonio?
Yes.
And mother, father?
I'm in contact with my mom.
Okay, but you do have other family members that live here in San Antonio?
Yes.
And have you spoken with them about any type of bonds that you could possibly make?
Yeah.
And are they going to be helping you with that?
They said they could try what they can.
Okay, no further questions, Joe.
Oh, anything else? All right, I just have a few questions related to the bond. Mr. Chavez,
So,
have you ever received any type of mental health diagnosis for any
no, ma'am.
mental health issues?
No, ma'am.
Have you ever seen a psychiatrist?
No.
With regards to drug use? And I'm going to talk to you about drug use before you were placed on probation for legal reasons. So Before you were placed on probation for this case, had you ever used drugs or alcohol before?
Yes, ma'am, when I was 16,
All right, and what were you using when you were 16?
just marijuana.
Okay. All right. So defense, what are you requesting in a bond amount?
We're asking for $1,000, Judge.
All right, state, what are you requesting?
State's requesting, previous bond was at 10,000, we're requesting 15,000 now.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. And I don't accept any of the allegations in the motion as true, but the court is aware based upon questions that you have an evading arrest and you have a DWI that's pending. The court is going to set your bond at $8,000. And I'm going to order full GPS. And I think the full GPS will take care of any concerns or issues. I'll ask that the fees be waived. Are there any no context orders that are needed, state?
I don't believe so, Your Honor.
And the court will note for the record that the defendant is currently on probation with the court, so the court is aware of any type of conditions that would need to be set on this bond. All right, that will be your bond, and we need a court date for this, Ms. Ferguson. It's 2024 CR 1943. And counsel, are you on the DWI as well as the evading?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. All right, it's going to be August 20th. And we'll set it as a contestant, but we'll see if you have all your discovery. All right, is there anything else?
No, Judge. Thank you.
All right, Deputy, if you'll make sure that he has his reset form before he leaves.
Yes.
Judge, on this Ruben Chavez. No.
Oh, it's in there. I'm so sorry. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess it's sort of.
Robert Castillo. All right. So there was a video or something.
So Judge, in this case, there was a USB drive that was found in the defendant's vehicle. Video was pulled from that USB drive and has been provided to the defense.
Okay.
The state had sent that USB off to an expert to see if they could forensically look at the USB and see if there's any additional video that could be inside that we just don't have access to. I did speak with our expert. He did say that he was complete with he completed his investigation. He sent me at least the Word document version of his report that I have had our paralegal upload to discovery, so the defense should have access to that after today. At this point, the expert said that his actual report is going to be on a USB drive that he's sending back to us because of how large it is. So I don't believe we received that back yet, but once we do get that report back with all of his findings, that's something that we'll hang over immediately to defense.
All right, and has he already actually sent it and you're just waiting to receive it?
My understanding, and again, I spoke to him on Thursday, is that he was going to send it out on Friday, next day mail. I haven't gotten word from our investigator that he's received the USB back, so I'm just unaware. I can go and reach out to our
So
investigator.
he's already sent it. That's what I'm trying to get to.
That's what he told me on Thursday, that he was planning to do that on Friday, but I didn't confirm if he had sent it on.
Okay.
Judge, we've got a consulting expert, David Gallant, who is, it was our understanding when this got sent off that they were going to contact him and there was going to be some conversation about him getting access to that USB drive. But that USB drive, just to refresh your course memory, is essentially the hard drive for the Tesla.
Yes.
And so that's what we're talking about. And so we still have not seen the hard drive. And I don't know exactly how to do that, other than, I guess, wait till he gets back and then we can try and have Mr. Gallant be able to access it either at the DA's office or someplace where they're feeling confident that it's not going to get tampered with or anything else. But we need to see the actual drive at
All
some
right, so
point.
I'm giving everybody a date and because I don't think my instructions were, I'll take the blame that my instructions were not clear. I am going to give you all a date. And the date I'm going to give you, your expert can appear by Zoom. The person who is sending you the drive, the person who's supposed to get the information from the Tesla, he needs to be on by Zoom. Both parties agreed that their experts could appear by Zoom. So they're going to be here by Zoom. They're going to be on the screen. They're going to be in the breakout room, talking to each other. And then this will be the last date that we're coming here for somebody needs something. So this case is going to be recalled, and it is going to be recalled for August 5th. If people want to, yes,
Judge, I got 2 kids going to college that week.
okay.
And I am not
August 12th.
August 12th. I will make that happen.
All right, so everyone, so it is clear. August 12th, your experts, whoever it is, need to be available by Zoom. They're going to go in a breakout room and they're going to discuss, and counsels, if you all want to be in the breakout room with your experts, you can be in the breakout room with your experts, but they are going to discuss what is there, what is not there. And this is the last date that I am giving for us to have, I say us, but for you all to have everything as it relates to the Tesla.
And Judge, my understanding just from speaking to our expert, the report, it's gonna be in essence, if you compared it sort of to the program, if you look through someone's cell phone. So it's gonna be something that it's gonna have access, it should have access to everything else that was in that USB drive. It's just that he forensically mapped it on to another drive.
Okay.
So if beforehand, if we're able to get that to defense, that may solve a lot.
It's not gonna, I don't think it's gonna solve it because we've been trying to solve this for a while now. So I want to be clear. Both parties' experts need to be here by Zoom. They can go in a breakout room. They can talk it out together. That's what's going to happen. And then you're going to get a trial date. And your trial date is going to be the same date as your plea deadline date. And if you want to come in and you all have entered an agreement before the trial date, you're more than welcome to do so. But this is the last day that we're having something on this discovery about information from the Tesla.
Can I ask the court one favor?
Sure.
I'm literally driving back from Missouri on the 11th. Is there any way we could do this on the 15th? I've got to be in here on Jose Cavazos for a ruling on Article 64 anyways. Would
All right.
that be possible?
August 15th?
Thank you so much, Judge. I really appreciate that.
Sure.
Sir, what is your name?
David McLean, McLean. Thank you.
Number Robert Castillo is August the 15th. And Norma, if you'll make sure both of them have the Zoom link, I know the state will have it, but make sure everybody has the Zoom link so that their expert can zoom in. All right, let me see. Gabriella Rubencheck?
Excuse you. Thank you.
Yes, your excuse.
McLean? Mr. McLean?
Yeah. Oh.
All right, so she has some cases out of another county.
Yes, good. She has one case up in Dallas.
McKinney?
McKinney, I'm sorry.
All right. So on this case, she has the cases out of county. What I can tell you is the cases out of county because they are open cases, if I were to place you in a program, they're not gonna be able to accept you because you're out of county. So we're gonna go on the record. Court is calling 2024 CR 0736, State of Texas versus Gabriella Rubencheck. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Andrew Harris, Edelman.
Defense,
Robert Barron for Mr. Rubencheck.
and are you Miss Rubencheck?
Yes.
All right, you entered a plea,
Yes, I did.
and according to the plea bargain agreement, the state is recommending deferred adjudication. All right, could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Gabriela Rubencheck.
All right, and when are you due?
I am due October 26th.
And if you were released, where would you be residing? In what county?
Here, San Antonio, Bexar County.
And do you have any family here?
Yes, I do.
Who's here for your support?
I have both of my sisters and a lot of my cousins, my dad.
All right, how many children do you have?
This will be my third.
All right, and so your other two children, where are they?
They right now are currently with my first, their dad's family, so with their grandparents, but on the dad's side. And then I also have my baby's dad here for support.
All right, and your two other children, were your rights terminated?
I did have an open CPS case. I did successfully complete drug court, and I got my parental rights back.
All right, so why are the children, other than you being in custody, is that the only reason why the children are with him?
Because I have to go back to court to open, I guess, the case. They told me, so they had originally granted PMT with PCA, which means that they were gonna be.
Oh, I know what it means. Okay.
Temporarily placed. I have to go, I haven't had a chance to go back to court to reopen it so they can be relocated back with me.
All right, and what are the ages of your two older children?
My son is 9, he just turned 9 July 1st, and my daughter is 7.
And when's the last time you've seen them?
Not too long ago, probably like maybe like 2 months ago.
And have you had any type of employment before?
Yes.
Doing what?
I was a server downtown on the Riverwalk at Landry Seafood.
Okay. Just as a side note, they need to step up their game on their gumbo. I'm just saying.
Yes, I agree.
Thank
I
you.
totally agree.
All right. And any drug use?
No.
Ever?
Previously, but I got over.
All right. And what previously was it?
Meth, amphetamine.
Okay. And how far did you go in school?
I only need 1 credit left, and the only reason I did not get that credit is because my daughter had gotten an upper respiratory virus called the rhinovirus, and she had to stay in the hospital for about close to 2 weeks. I was going to a self-paced school, so I ended up taking all the little bit of work that I needed to finish to complete that last credit. But by the time we were both, or she was released and we could go back to school and she could go back to daycare, they withdrew me because of my age.
Okay.
But I do plan on going back to school, and I was doing dual credit, so I do have some college credits as well.
Okay. So what's your dream job? What's your plan for your life?
To be completely honest, to continue going to school, to get my diploma, since I only need 1 credit, and then to continue my schooling, to become a surgical nurse, and then eventually an anesthesiologist.
Okay. All right. With these cases, it's going to be difficult to do those things because anytime you have a type of employment that requires a license, they do background checks extensively. And there are some charges where you're going to have difficult time obtaining your license. But
Yes,
it's not impossible.
no, it is not.
All right. Any questions from either side?
Judge, I just want to reiterate, I did speak to Collin County Jail. They verified that her case is pending, that the bail is set at $10,000. And the woman I spoke to said that they would come pick her up once a 10-day pickup notice was received from the sheriff.
All right. All right, the court is going to sentence you to a $500 fine. That will be probated and state you're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court is going to sentence you to 4 years deferred adjudication. There is going to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. I'm going to want the UA hotline until further notice. Proof of employment within 45 days of release. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. 200 hours of community service restitution. 100 hours of those will be waived once she obtains her GED or higher level of education. The remaining 100 hours will be waived once she completes parenting classes. And upon return from, what county is it?
Collin.
Sorry?
Collin. COLLIN.
All right, return from Collin County because they're going to pick you up from the jail. She's to report to court upon return from the county. So if you come back on a Monday, you need to come to court. You understand? Yes. And I'm going to want field visits 1 time per month for 6 months. And we'll do a TAP evaluation and referral to felony drug court upon return from Collin County. And CPS compliance, if applicable. Probation, is there anything else?
I apologize, I can't hear you on the county meeting.
Collin, COLLIN. All right, is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
So I do the tape, you wanted the tape evaluation done.
The TAP evaluation, what's going to happen? I don't want that to hold you up from going to Collin County.
Okay.
So what ends up happening is they're going to put in the system a release for you to go to Collin County. When Collin County finishes what they're finishing, whatever they're doing with their cases, you have to come back here to Bexar County to this court. Do you understand?
Yes.
So immediately upon your release from Collin County, when you drive back or somebody picks you up and you go home, next business day, you need to report to this court. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? And did you understand it?
Believe so, yes, Your Honor.
All right. Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing in this court, to be successful, communication is key. Talk to your probation officer. When you get released from Collin County, if there's some issue with you coming back immediately to Bexar County, pick up the phone, talk to probation. If you feel as though probation is not addressing it, come back to court.
Okay.
But remember, in your mind, when you get released from jail in Collin County, you need to come back to the 187th in person. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Judge.
Mr. Attorney, I didn't hear your name.
Robert Behrens.
Baron B.
Abel Favala.
RENS.
Thank you.
Who's here on Abel Favala? Hi, come down.
Munos.
All right, where are we on this case?
Yes, Judge, believe discovery is intact at this point. My client wishes to assert his constitution protected right to a jury trial in this matter.
Okay, State, did you make an offer?
Yes, Judge, we made an offer today.
Okay,
And the defense counsel has rejected it.
okay. All right, Mr. Favala, do you need a chance to consider the state's offer or no?
No.
No? All right, then I'm gonna need a discovery acknowledgement from each of you before you leave today, counsel.
Yes, Your Honor.
And State, how long do you expect this trial?
A day, Judge, 2 days, it'll be quick.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, Criminal Trial Division, need a jury trial date. It will be quick. Need a jury trial date on Favala. October 1st, you'll be brought over dressed for trial in whatever clothing you have at the jail. If you wish to be attired into something different, you'll need to do a clothing exchange with your attorney. Counsel, if there's an issue with the clothing exchange, let the court know and we'll see if we can help expedite that.
Very well, Judge. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Is there anything else?
You have reviewed the case in hand, right?
No. This is what I'll tell you. Sometimes people get confused on what I know.
Yeah.
The only thing I know about your case is what it says in the indictment. I don't see any evidence unless evidence is at some stage presented to me. So all I know is that you're charged with an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. I don't know if there's witnesses. I don't know if there's video. I don't know any of this. Okay. All right, thank you.
Ms. Monia, are you filling in for Ms. Emerson?
Lindsay Hernandez. Who's the attorney for Lindsay Hernandez?
I am, Your Honor.
Oh,
Yes, meaning that.
okay.
So Jacqueline Anderson was the interim chief public defender for the public defender cases were coming under her name. So I'm one of the public defenders. So yeah, I'm standing.
Okay, thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
All right. So today is plea deadline date
Correct, Judge. Yes.
and
Did receive an offer from the states. Client is not in agreement with the offer. We would again wish to assert her right to a jury trial in this matter.
all right. So what that means is your plea deadline date has expired. The court will not consider any plea bargain agreements without good cause. Otherwise, you have to plead open to the court. So you're telling the court you wish to go to a jury trial. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. State, how long do you expect this jury trial to last with Ms. Hernandez?
2 to 3 days, Judge.
2 to 3 days?
There are a few witnesses.
All right, Norma, 2 days on Lindsay Hernandez. Yes. All right, we'll be back on October 1st. And you'll be brought over dressed in whatever clothing you have at the jail. If you wish to be attired in something different, you'll need to do a clothing exchange with your attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor. Would you like a discovery acknowledgement on that as well?
Yes, please.
Yes, Judge. All right, thank you.
All right. Just one. It happens. Mario Resendez.
Your Honor, we had a slight glitch on this one. The bailiffs just missed him to bring him over from jail today.
Mhm.
I was gonna ask the court if we could recall him for Wednesday. I've got to be here anyways,
Not Wednesday,
not Wednesday. Okay.
but I can recall him. Well, just one moment. Norma. Is that jury trial with, yeah, we can't do Wednesday, but we can do Thursday.
On Dilla O, but we ended up having to move that because my expert's in Germany and it's got
We can do it Thursday.
Thursday works. I'll be here at 9 a.m. I've got my docket, but we'll just make it happen.
All right, if we can recall Mario Resendez for Thursday.
Yep.
All righty, thank you.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate you.
Welcome.
See you guys now. Thank you.
On Michael Hernandez cases.
Yes.
From my understanding, the state has contacted the complaining witness.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Who's here on Alex Pardo?
I am, Your Honor.
Mr. Pardo, if you'll come down. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, Judge. Robert Porter.
All right, court is calling 2024 CR 4327, State of Texas versus Alex Pardo. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
Defense.
Robert Porter for Mr. Pardo.
And are you Mr. Pardo?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery?
I have, Your Honor.
Did you review it with your client?
I did.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Pardo, did you review the document entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the document entitled True Bill of Indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Judge.
Mr. Pardo, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of aggravated robbery? That's a second-degree felony. I'm sorry, first-degree felony. Thank you. The range of punishment for that is anywhere from 5 to 99 years or life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea with the state, court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to life in prison?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes,
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Pardo, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No.
Anyone promise you anything other than the plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 12 years in the prison. The state is opposed to your application. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense is at the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
State is at the plea.
Yes, Judge.
Did you review the document entitled Waiver of Appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence.
State offer states exhibit 1 in all attachments.
No objection.
All right, you may be excused. Did you review the waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. All right, we can go off the record. Defense, the PSI date is sometime in September. If you all want me to hear it sooner, what I would need to make a decision is I would just need his criminal history, and then you can present whatever evidence you want. Otherwise, it's not going to be till September.
Your Honor, unfortunately, I'm gonna need a couple of witnesses.
No, I mean, you just give me the
Oh.
date you would want.
Oh, okay.
So if you're okay with me proceeding without a PSI report, I will give you time to have your witnesses come in. You just tell me what date works for you.
Perfect, Judge.
Yeah.
Maybe just a couple of weeks.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on this case, if I can have it reset for 2 to 3 weeks. Is August 15th a good day for you?
It is, Judge.
All right, state on this case, I'm going to need the criminal history. It's coming back for sentencing on August 15th.
Yes, Judge.
All right, is there anything else?
No, thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And Mr. Porter, if you have witnesses that perhaps can't make it or you need them by Zoom, I don't think the state will have any objections.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, who is here on Michael Hernandez? Yes.
Renee, Rene, yes, ma'am.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Did you ever get your glasses back?
Your Honor, my investigator did look into that, and apparently they were broken in the struggle, so the sheriff's office is not agreeing to release it to him because the manner which they're broken could be used as
Used as
a
a weapon.
potentially a weapon. So they did state that family members and things of that nature can bring another repair eyeglass for them. They just have to fill paperwork at the jail, so I can
All
help
right.
them with that.
And so let me ask you this, the glasses that are there that were broken, were they thrown away or no?
I think they alluded to state that they had them like just in their property evidence room, I think, but they said they were not released back because they were broken in a manner that I guess it's a little bit jagged.
Okay, because I don't know if he has a warranty or whatever with his glasses,
Oh.
but if they would allow him to just do an eyeglass exchange with family members, then maybe, you never know.
That's a possibility, Judge. They can bring in another pair.
They just got them too.
Now you got a pair already?
No, no, I
Oh,
just
you got
got those,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
All right, so he may have a warranty for that. I don't know.
Thank you though.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you.
All right, so where are we on this case?
So Judge, I was taking a look, there was an at-large, it was a deadly conduct case that had been filed with our office, so I was taking a look into that one, just because how that's gonna play out with the negotiations. I had made an offer to defense, but then I saw that there was that deadly conduct case that was pending. So we were just asking for just a little bit of time just to look into that, just to have that get wrapped up here.
All right, counsel, how much time are you asking?
We're asking for a reset, Judge, potentially for 2 weeks.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Hernandez, I'll give you 3 weeks. If you can recall this back for 3 weeks. All right, we'll come back on August 15th.
Yes, Your Honor, have that date down. I appreciate it. Maybe
All right,
excuse.
is there anything else?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, you're excused.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a
You're
good day.
welcome. You too.
Yes.
Michelle Davis.
Right
Come
here, Your
forward.
Honor.
Hello.
Your name, sir?
Jose Rocha.
Can you say happy belated birthday if that's what that is?
Oh, no, there's no, not birthday, no.
Or happy whatever.
All right, thank you very much. All right, so what is the results of the competency disposition?
She is competent, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, do you have all the discovery?
I do, Your Honor.
Was an offer tendered?
Yes, it has. However, it was tendered before the motion for competency. So we were set for today so that we can either talk about whether there's going to be something different.
Well, did you discuss with them?
They haven't shown up, Your Honor. They showed up once and then they were called to the grand jury.
All right, Norma, call them to come here, please. Does anyone have the number for? All right, they're gonna text them.
He has been texting, Your Honor. He's been telling me what's
Oh,
the,
they're gonna text them and say Judge Boyd would like you here.
that would be awesome.
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So just
Yes.
have a seat and we're gonna get to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Victoria Velez, Jose Cardoza, Regina Weaver.
Here we're working on paper for please.
All right,
Sorry, I just want to make sure the code.
all right, thank you. David Mendoza. Israel Medine.
Judge, he's here.
They're outside, Judge.
All right, thank you.
I guess I'll get his file up there. I think it's got the rest of it. Yeah, I don't know anything about it. I guess my client needs to be at your desk. I guess you got to rush up.
Jesus, of course.
You're able to tell me if I got a blender on this new cases. This Michael Rodriguez guy. Looks like we picked up a bunch of stuff last Thursday. No.
Okay. Oh, that's what we
That's where Docket said something about that's what happened. Stuff. I don't know if you know. Get on your docket.
Yeah.
No, I think they're in Odyssey.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
You saw it.
I looked and see. I didn't.
Oh, good. Will you put Mr. Rodriguez up on the desk, please? This is gonna be so much fun. Yes, will you place it up there?
Maybe in
Okay. Okay. He's not coming.
Yeah.
Anymore.
All right, Michael Rodriguez.
I'm here.
Yes, where is he?
He refused to come.
Oh,
He's in the jail.
you don't, Mr. Paul.
I can tell you, Judge, that on just for the record, April the 17th, I was appointed on his case. I don't know when, on end of March. April, I set up a Zoom with him. He'd been released,
Mhm.
so I didn't have any so I didn't have a phone number. The bondsman couldn't find him. So I was hoping to see him today. He was rearrested recently for some new cases.
All right.
But so he's in jail. However, I've been told he refused to come from the jail to here. So I've never talked to him. I haven't done anything to him yet,
Okay, so what we're gonna do
but
is we're gonna reset it
okay,
and we will have him brought if he does not wish to appear.
okay.
But if you will try to speak with him
I will
between
set
now
up
and then.
another Zoom. Yes,
All right.
absolutely.
Ms. Ferguson? On this one, you want to bring it back You want to do August 1st?
Yes, Charles Bunk. I just broke this.
All right, do you want to do it August 1st?
Send me a bill for it.
Or we can place it back on a Monday. That could be the 5th, the
I'm
12th.
here, I'm here on the first. The first is fine.
All right.
I'm already in here on the first. That's perfect.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, he's going to be recalled for August 1st, and we'll need to do an order to have him appear.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Johnny Munoz. All right. The evaluation for competency, that's been complete?
Yes, he was found incompetent, Your Honor.
Okay.
Did Mr. Pettis?
Yes, Adrian Bettis.
All right, do you have the discovery on any unindicted cases?
I don't yet, Judge, but Mr. Edelman told me today that that Mr. Munoz was just indicted last week on a multi-count indictment that alleges, I believe, 4 or 5 offenses. We had to look for it due to some problems, I believe, due to Odyssey problems, but I'm going to download all of that today.
You know, I think Odyssey is becoming like, you know, when you have a serial killer and then when they want to close cases, then the serial killer gets blamed for every case. Now Odyssey is just getting blamed for everything. I don't know, rightly or wrongly, I don't know.
Your Honor, if I may.
Yes.
I think Odyssey is correctly blamed in this instance because according to the scanned copy of the indictment, it was presented to the grand jury and accepted a week ago. And yet our case management system is not updated to reflect that it is no longer awaiting filing, but is filed.
In addition, Judge, it looks like
So Odyssey killed somebody else.
Odyssey strikes again.
Yeah.
In addition, Judge, it looks like there is a first degree 25 to 99 indictment still to come.
All right, and when is that indictment coming? And what is that indictment for?
Your Honor, I'd rather not say while we're broadcasting on
Okay.
YouTube. And to answer your first question, I do not know because that case is not yet assigned to a prosecutor.
All right, is
in
it
the
a-
provision?
Is it a family violence case or is it a criminal trial division case?
I believe it will be a family violence case.
All right,
First degree 3G offense, if that sheds any
family
light on it.
violence. They're telling me that Mr. Johnny Abel Munoz.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so will you all be able to look in that and make sure that defense counsel has discovery?
On the case that's awaiting indictment?
Yes.
Sure.
All right, so what we're gonna do.
Sorry, Judge.
Oh, that's okay. Oh. I like that. Oh, no, I appreciate that. We can't even get batteries for a clock in the 187. We have to fill out a request form. All right. Yeah. So in this case, I'm going to give you all a 45-day reset, and that's going to be for discovery.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, what date, Ms. Ferguson? All right, we're going to come back on September 5th. Mr. Munoz will be back on September 5th, and that'll be for discovery. You have any questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you, Johnny. I'll
You're
see you
welcome.
soon. Okay, follow the deputy. Oh, yes. Thank you.
Welcome. Your Honor, may I have you excused?
Yes.
Thank you.
Please.
I need to.
Everyone, the court is recessing exactly at 12. So anyone who has something, now's the time to place it up here.
Will that be 12 Pacific time or would that be 12 Standard?
You're very funny.
No, I know I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I hate being yelled at, and I hate ignoring what the.
Yell.
Well, I hate being reprimanded, and I
All right.
don't like to be disrespected.
Michelle, I appreciate that. Michelle Davis,
think they're
side. All right,
I'm gonna be out for lunch now.
probably so. Israel Medine,
Yeah, for sure.
yes,
You want Mr. Medine up here as well?
yes.
I figure as much.
Mhm.
We're looking at you, right?
Hello.
Hello, Judge.
Hey, why you were late?
I was at the other courtroom, County Court 8. I didn't know I had court, for both of them today.
Okay, here's the thing. You know, one, you can't be late for court.
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
Number two, if there's a court setting in a county court, this court takes precedent. Now, sometimes there are things that are happening and I say, oh, you can go to county court first because maybe sometimes there's an agreement that has been reached where you need to do something in the county court. But you need to make sure you're on time. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
All right, so where are we on these cases?
Judge, I've conferred with the state, I've conferred with the prosecutor and the probation department. We don't have an agreement yet. I would like to submit an affidavit that I have of a material witness to the state. I thought that we'd already done that, but apparently we hadn't. I think this is Mr. Medine's first setting post-release.
Yes, ma'am.
He's also on felony probation out of Medina County, as well as felony probation out of Atascosa County that are all running concurrent with this case. I'd like to get him set up with another appointment today with probation and have it reset just to be able to confer a little bit more with Mr. Garahan to see if we can't reach a resolution. And if not, then I would anticipate it would probably get set for a contested MTR.
All right, Ms. Ferguson on Medine. I need a contested hearing date. And how many witnesses do you anticipate, state?
Judge. Probably won't need this probation.
All right, all right. Contested 1 to 2 witnesses, Ms. Ferguson. All right, we're gonna come back on August 27th. That will be your hearing date. You'll need to be here at 9 a.m. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, once you sign the reset form, you are excused.
I'm sorry again, Judge. I just didn't know we could have 2 court dates at the same day. I've never had that happen to me.
It's Odyssey. We're gonna blame it on Odyssey
Thank you, Miss. You have a good
until the
day.
beginning of August.
You have a good day, Miss.
All right, you too. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Stop killing artists. Okay.
Yeah. I think music, man.
All right, now I like it.
Is that Mr. Calpis?
Yes.
Thank you, Judge.
Mhm.
Also, in the meantime, Andrew, I need to get.
All right, who's here? Michelle, Michelle Davis, they're still out there. Okay. All right, are the parties ready? Regina Weaver. Court is calling 2024 CR 1707, State of Texas versus Regina Weaver. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar from the state of Texas.
Defense?
Eddie Bravanik for Miss Weaver.
And are you Miss Weaver?
Yes.
I'm sorry, you're gonna need to put your purse down on one of the tables. Counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
I did.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Weaver, did you review the document entitled Application for Community Supervision or Deferred Adjudication with your attorney?
Yes.
Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Judge, we're waiving the repeat offender enhancement allegation, and in addition, Judge, just to put on the record, defense did ask about possible surveillance video from inside the Bexar County Jail on this case. I had emailed out to the detective, forwarded on my request to someone at the Bexar County Jail. So far, we haven't gotten word of it, but I did inform the defense about that. But we decided to again make this offer, reach this agreement despite that.
All right, and defense, do you wish to proceed without that discovery if it exists?
We do. I went over the issue thoroughly with Miss Weaver, and honestly, I got her slightly better deal because of the issues with the discovery And I went over it and said, look, if you truly didn't do this, we should wait for the video. In spite of that advice, Ms. Weaver chose to go forward. So it did help her, although there was that out-ascending discovery issue. So I went over each and every issue on the case, and she was satisfied that she still wanted to go forward.
All right, and state, other than waiving the repeat offender enhancement allegation, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Judge.
Any objection to the state's waiver?
No.
All right, Ms. Weaver, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Did you understand you're charged by indictment with possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4 grams to 200 grams, that's a second-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent? You need to speak up.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
She has, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do, Your Honor.
Ms. Weaver, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
According to the plea, there's a $500 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication. They're taking in consideration 2024 CR 2832, and they're asking for a referral to felony drug court. Did you understand that should be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Judge.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
There have not.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 3 years, that there be a TAP evaluation and 120 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No.
State, any evidence?
State offer states given one in all attachments.
No objections.
All right, did you review, state you may be excused. Did you review the document entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. Court has reviewed the same. The court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
If the court would allow us, yes.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So I have a few questions. So do you have any children?
Yes, ma'am.
What are their ages?
21, 14, 9, 8, and 7.
All right. And where are they? Who do they live with?
My 14-year-old lives with me. My 21-year-old is out of the house, and I share custody with the younger 3.
If you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be? And you're going to get drug tested. Here's the thing, you need to be honest with me.
Yes, ma'am. The medication that I take I don't know how it comes up on the test, but I do take medications
For what?
for anxiety and depression.
I'm sorry, what?
Anxiety and depression.
And so
And
what
then-
were you doing with meth? I don't know how they missed that at the jail, but they say it was found when they were doing cell checks at the jail and that you were attempting to flush something down the toilet.
I had just come back from the hospital having an x-ray done and it was found in the cell with me. There was nothing found on me. It was in the cell and I'm not too sure.
Well, I think what her real question is, you've used meth, right?
Yes.
All right.
Because it's saying that it was found inside her bra.
Yes, I think it stated that it was being flushed down the toilet and that it was found inside a bra. I think she's I don't know. I mean, she may say differently. I think her concern is the drugs, right? Using drugs. And she wants to tell you to tell her if.
Yes, yeah, that's what I'm trying to
Yes.
understand, because what I'm reading, the stipulations that you stipulated to, it says, detention staff were conducting cell checks and they noticed you attempting to flush something down the toilet. Detention guard Garcia then requested for additional help in restraining you and retrieving E2. I was then advised the detention staff then conducted a strip search of everyone in the cell and located E1 inside AP1's bra. I was then advised that AP told the detention guards that E2 was located inside her underwear. So they're saying that you told them it was located in your underwear, both locations which would constitute a strip search. So they're saying they found it in the underwear and the bra.
So
And then
Judge, if I may, I'm sorry, and I had trouble with this first. When they said underwear and she admitted to underwear,
Mhm.
I don't think they ever found it in her, excuse my, like her panties. But some people, when they say underwear, they mean bra and panties or underwear. And some people, it's like your panties. So when she said underwear, I think she was referring to her bra, not, I don't think anyone is saying that they found it in her panties area.
Well, I'm reading what I'm reading from the police report is that they're saying bra and underwear, and they said both locations.
Yeah, so Judge, I literally, I don't think it says they found it in both. I think she says I admitted it with underwear, and I don't mean to make a mountain out of a molehill, but I think when she says she admitted it was in her underwear, she means she's admitting that it's in her bra. And I don't think that the state would say, nor does anyone saying that
So
they.
here's the thing, that what I'm reading in the report, whether it's underwear or bra, it's on her.
Yes,
And it's not something from the hospital because they're saying it was in clear bagging. Unless the hospital has started putting their medications in clear baggies.
No, ma'am. It was in a wrapper for a sanitary napkin.
Okay.
And it was in the cell with me. I do have an issue with I used previously. But since then I've stopped using and attempted to get things back on track.
Okay. So are you employed?
No, ma'am, not currently. I was on full house arrest.
All right. So have you ever had employment?
Yes.
Doing what?
I was a server for a restaurant for a while, and then for the past, I want to say a year or so, I haven't.
Speak up, ma'am.
Yes, for the past year or so, I haven't been employed just because I was trying to. I actually lived in Beeville, and then I moved back here to San Antonio. While I was moving, was when this incident occurred.
All right. Who lives with you with your children?
Myself and my grandfather.
All right. This is what the court is going to do. The court is going to sentence you to 4 years deferred adjudication. There's going to be a referral to felony drug court. She can do that out of custody. Do not miss that appointment. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And there'll be a TAP evaluation out of custody. Follow recommendations. And you need to let felony drug court know about your drug history and your drug issues. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
There's a $500 fine that will be probated. I'm going to order the UA hotline until further notice. And we're going to have you do a drug test today. no later than 3 p.m.
Yes, ma'am.
and they'll give you the location.
Yes, ma'am.
There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Proof of employment within 45 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's going to be 90 sober meetings in 90 days. Field visits 1 time per month until in treatment. There's to be 200 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. Once you complete the parenting classes, the community service hours will be deemed satisfied. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. Once you've started parenting classes, your counsel can approach me about that and I'll consider changing that. Take in consideration 2024 CR 2832.
Judge, I'm sorry, may I ask a question?
Yes.
I'm sorry, when you say no unsupervised contact, you mean minors besides her children? Because
Children, period. So she says she lives with her grandfather, so I'm assuming her grandfather is there.
but I think her testimony is their 14-year-old is currently with her.
Yes.
I don't know what we do with a 14-year-old.
But no, she said that she was, I said, who's living with you and your children? And she said her the grandfather.
Yeah.
So my concern, if the court says no unsupervised contact, so the grandfather is sufficient to satisfy. All right, I'm just making sure I don't set her up for failure.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Take in consideration 2024 CR 2832. And there's to be restitution, if any, to the Bexar County laboratory for drug testing. Probation, is there anything else she needs? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful? Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
And did you sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
We can go off the record. In this court, to be successful on probation, communication is key. If you have an issue, let probation know. If you feel as though they're not addressing it, you can always come back to the court. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you that are going to go over conditions. All right, who's here on Michelle Davis? Yes, Miss Davis, come up. All right, so was an offer tendered?
We have an agreement, Your Honor, that that we're all ready to do. I need to file down the second count into Odyssey's system.
Okay.
So I don't know if you wanted us to do that this afternoon or
Yes.
come back a different day, but either way, we're.
All right, I'll have y'all come back at 1:30.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank
Your
you.
Honor.
Norman, this will be back at 1:30 for a plea. And then the who's Genevieve Lopez?
I'm handling that for you, Judge.
All right, thank you. All right, whenever y'all are ready.
We're ready.
Uh,
All right, we don't have a file. What's going on with this?
This is a case where it should appeal
Ah.
and.
Okay, so are you able to come back? Because I don't have the conditions. Because they don't have the file.
I'm supposed to be picking at 1 on the 4:30.
All right.
Judge.
So do you have the conditions? Oh,
Perfect.
thank you. Probation is doing great as always. All right, we're gonna go on the record. In 2023 CR 5150, State of Texas versus Genevieve Nicole Lopez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
Adrian Bettis.
And are you Miss Lopez?
Yes.
All right, this is actually family violence's case. All right, so
Can y'all move up to the mic, please?
so on this case, there was a appeal filed. This, I believe, was a bench trial. And the court found her guilty of the lesser included offense of assault, family, bodily injury. She signed her notice of appeal. And my understanding is that the fourth court, I believe it's the fourth court or 13th court, has made their ruling on that. And so her appeal has been dismissed. So now she will be placed on probation, and your probation will begin as of today. Do you understand? All right. And what I ordered for your previous conditions will be regular UAs. There's to be no contact with Robert Courtney. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. No unsupervised contact with minors. The court is ordering 80 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. Once you complete parenting classes, your community service hours will be deemed satisfied. And also, I'm going to waive the community service hours, well, 40 hours for parenting, 40 hours if you complete some higher level of education or if you complete a trade school. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. I've actually completed a parenting class already.
All right, if you
And-
give that documentation to probation, then 40 hours will be deemed satisfied. There's to be,
I've also enrolled into a trade school.
awesome. Okay, great. All right, provide proof of employment within 30 days, no employment as a home healthcare provider or supervising minors. And there will be field visits once per month. If your compliance, I can't understand your writing. All right. So there's going to be field visits once a month for 2 months. After that, it will be at probation's discretion. Do you understand?
Yes.
And you're to continue with all services at Center for Healthcare Services. Do you understand?
Yes.
Is there anything else you need from the court?
No.
All right, we can go off the record. If there's ever anything you need, just ask the court or ask your probation officer, okay?
Okay.
All
Thank
right,
you.
thank you. I'm so glad you're doing great.
Thank you.
All right, good luck.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Who is here on Jose? Oh, who's with the interpreter? Come forward. And then after that, we're gonna do Jose Amador. Then after that, we are taking our recess. All right, Morales. Come down. All right. So all of the discovery is complete?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'll need a discovery acknowledgement today.
Okay.
And
Just,
then,
well, I was gonna say, Judge, we just received the last CPS records list today.
Okay.
So I need to go over it. So it's been tendered.
okay, all right, Ms. Ferguson, on this case, recall this in 30 days. In that time, I expect everyone to have reviewed their discovery. I'm going to want an acknowledgement of discovery, and there's going to be an offer tendered. All right?
Yep, my judge.
And then after that, I will give you your plea deadline date.
Sounds great. Thank you, Judge.
All right, what date, Ms. Ferguson? All right, we're going to be back on August 22nd. Mr. Morales, on August 22nd, the state is going to be prepared to tender an offer, and then there will be a quick turnaround for a plea deadline date for you. Do you have any questions? No. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Maybe.
Right, yes.
Good to see you. Thank you.
You,
Sir, are you Mr. Reitmeyer?
Yes.
Thank you.
Jose Amador.
Bother you with the judge signature?
Oh, you need it? Oh. All right, today is your plea deadline date.
Judge, the state has tendered us an offer today. We are still in need of, I believe, 3 files for discovery. They're too large to be uploaded. They just received them recently, to my understanding. And so we don't have a copy of those. We would like to ask the court for another week so you can consider that offer that was made to him.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Jose Amador, recall this back in 2 weeks. This will be your final plea deadline date. What date?
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Yes.
August 8th.
All right, we'll be back on August 8th.
All right, thank you, Judge.
Thank you. All right, and we will be back at 1:30. You know what? I'm gonna have Bashan set the alarm for 11:40. I said, I'm gonna have you set the alarm for 11:40 because that will be, everyone needs to have their paperwork in at that time.
Should be a countdown.
Yes, we should.
It's like just self-destruction, you know, it's like, it's just gonna